Salute all my generals, on my lines, on my real men, on my queens, on my princesses, on my lionesses. Y'all already know what it is. It's Lions and Men. Hit the subscribe, hit the shares, hit the notification bell. Let's get into it. So, it's a lot of things that a lot of people in New York and all over the world are not being in tune with and um, not knowing the facts of what's really going on. So that's what I'm here for. So let's get into it. So I told y'all on the last one about the C-74 and everything that's going on in C-74, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So now what we going to is another building on Rikers Island, C-76. And the crazy thing is that in C-76 right now, at this very moment, literally right now, what time is it? Hold on, let me check what time it is. It is 4:19. I got off the phone with this person, let's say like I got off the phone with Miss Jackson, let's say like around 3:30, 3:45, right? And I had a whole like half an hour conversation with Miss Jackson, right? And Miss Jackson in C-76 literally let me know it is popping. The island is on an uproar. So Miss Jackson was like, yo, they was moving a whole house of Dominican trinitarios, right? And they had the whole house of Dominican trinitarios in intake. Intake is basically where you go to get processed and where you go when you're getting transferred to another facility. So the whole house was like, max is like 50 in the house, right? So the whole house had to pack their shit up, right? And they had to go to intake. At first, it was an issue. She was like, "Yo, nobody wanted to pack up." They're like, "Yo, fuck that. We ain't going nowhere." But eventually, they ended up packing up their bags because they were shutting that house down. So they had to go. So they snatched them up. They put them in the wine me pins, right? And check this out. They move in another house because according to what I'm hearing from my sources, they're trying to close C-76. So they moving people out the building, sending them to C-95, C-74, West Facility, and it's a couple of other buildings, whatever other buildings, I think 73 or whatever the case may be. But they closing some buildings down and they opening some buildings up, right? So now they put these dudes from that was moving from C-76. They put them in the YME pins in intake. They take another house that's predominantly Bloods, and they put them like in a cell next to the other cell that has the whole other housing users. So you got two cells. Each cell is like accommodated the whole at least like maybe like I think literally is accommodated the whole like 20, but you could double that and they'll put 50 in each one and it's a roach box. So you got two roach boxes next to each other. One filled with a bunch of trinitarios, the other one filled with a bunch of bloods, right? So what happens? They got to pop these cells open every now and then to fingerprint and you know confirm certain things like you know when they asked them about you know when I forgot the word, I forgot the phrase when they be asking them about the date of birth and their floor card and all that social, your last four, your social, or whatever. They going through that process, right? And as they going through that process, they crack the cell open, right, for the Trinis. Then, at the same time, another CO cracks the cell for another individual that's in the cell next to the where the Trinitarios is at, which is where all the Bloods and all that is at. He had to crack that cell open, that pin open, to let somebody out for whatever reason. And the minute that happened, they had two cells open, bro. They had literally two cells open. Guess what happened? All hell broke loose, twin. The dude that was out his cell, I'm gonna say his name because I kind of confirmed that his name is Trigger. Salute to the Trini Trigger. Trigger, he was out the cell. He peeped that the other cell right next to them, which was the ops, according to him, got popped open, and they let one of the homies out. But they left the cells. Both cells was open, twin. They ain't locked them. They just cracked it. Boom, opened it, let him out. You come over here, asking him some questions, filling out some paperwork, and fingerprinting him. And they was doing the same shit, I guess. I'm assuming, to be honest, and I don't like assuming. But they cracked the other cell, so I'm not even going to assume. They'll crack the other cell for whatever reason. And at the end of the day, though, what's a fact is that they opened that cell. Both cells is open for the pins. They have two separate housing units in it, and both housing units is at war with each other. What you think happened? So Trigger, when he seen the other dude get out his cell, he did what he did, whatever he was talking to the CO, according to from what I heard from my source, Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson was like, he was getting his paperwork done. He was getting moved to another facility. The whole house was getting moved to another facility, but he was filling out his whatever paperwork he had to do. He seen that the other cell, I don't smoke, baby, I'm sorry. He seen that the other cell was open, and when the other cell was open, guess what he did? He rushed the nigga. He rushed him. He popped on him, and when he popped on him, everybody, I'm talking about everybody that was in the Trini cell rushed out. Yo, she said, oh my, she was like, all I saw was a bunch of fucking Spanish people running out the cell. Running out the pen, out the cell. She said, all I saw was a bunch of Spanish niggas running out the spell. Out the pen. I keep saying cell. It's because it's the same thing. I confuse a cell with a pen. It is different. A cell is like, something where it's just for one individual. A pen is where it's for multiple individuals. She's like, all I see was a bunch of Spanish people running out the pen. And next thing you know, they all ran, they ramsacked the homie, and then some of the homies that was in that cell came out too. A whole riot popped off in C-74 today. Literally. Where that on the media? Where that on the news? Where that? WPIX. Where y'all at? Like, I gotta do y'all job for y'all. It is crazy on Rikers Island right now. Like, literally. Like, they're going off the fucking, I'm about to bring it back, off the meat rack, you heard? Now they off the meat rack. Y'all know, why I'm bringing that back, yeah. I'm about to bring that back, 90s slang. Off the meat rack. They wildin', bro. So they end up popping off in intake. A riot popped off in intake. Yo, for those that don't know, about the culture and Rikers Island and all that, you're like, yo, popping off in intake. I mean, yeah, that happens in the pins. But when the pins is open and you popping literally like in intake, where like like even like the way she was describing it, she was like, it was out of control. Nobody knew what to do. Yo, it took a minute, more than a minute, for them to get things under control, bro. To the point where dudes that was in the pins, right? Check this out. Dudes that was in the pins from both the trinitarios pins and the blood pins, it was multiple individuals from each side that literally just left. I mean, not the jail, but left and went back in the population. They went back in the GP. Yo, how you just leaving? Like, yo, I'm done with this shit. Yo, they popped off there, I'm done with this. And then they just left, and then they ended up sliding back to go to the population. They knocking on doors like, yo, let me in. They grabbing beds. They grabbing pillows. They grabbing, yo, she was like, yo, it's crazy. I never seen her. Like, yo, dudes was literally grabbing their own setups While shit was popping, like, yo, I'm going back inside. I'm going back to pop. And they supposed to leave the building. This is how it's given. This is how it's going down on RIKERS Island right now. Like, this ain't no fucking tomorrow, last year, 30 years ago. Right now. That's what happened. So you already know. It is crazy on RIKERS right now. It is out of control, bro. You know what? Anybody on RIKERS, superintendent, warden, y'all need some advice on how to lock down, how to what's the right phrase? How to calm things down. You know, holla at me, man. Lions and man, I got you. I definitely got you, man. I mean, I'm definitely trying to see at least 6 figures, but I got you. I know how to shut shit down. I know what they need to do to calm this down. That's a fact, bro. I could be a personal advisor for any single person that's working in any correctional facility anywhere. I know what you got to do to shut shit down. But at the end of the day, y'all got to start picking better staff, man. Y'all just pick anybody that passes a test. That's not going to work. Look at what's happening right now. So literally, this just happened. And this is an intake. So when it pops off an intake, you have multiple individuals that's going to multiple different facilities within RIKERS Island. That whole thing got phased out. Everything got put on pause. So now it's going to be a lot of officers, a lot of Miss Jacksons is going to be doing a lot of overtime. A lot of overtime because they're going to get stuck there because they can't leave. Why? RIKERS Island is on lockdown right now. Right now. Lockdown. Facts. Holla at your twin, man. Hit the likes, hit the share, hit the subscribes. I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna post it on the community section when I do the live. I haven't done a live in a minute. I mean, I've done a live, but not like a real live. Like, I'm gonna do a real live. And when I do that live, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be somewhere where I'm not doing a live where it's just me talking. You feel me? I'm gonna do a live where it's me and y'all gonna see me around a bunch of other people. Like, if I could drive, I think it'll be better once I get to New York. New York, here I come, nigga. I'm coming back to the Bronx. I'm doing a New York City tour. I'm gonna do a New York City live tour. I'm hitting all 5 boroughs. Facts. Because I got twins in Staten Island. I got twins in Long Island. I got twins in Queens. I got twins in Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan. Long Island actually ain't part of the boroughs, so I don't even know why I said them, but I do got twins out there. But Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn,